On July the 12th, 1979, Carmine Galante is having a nice spot of lunch with his pals when he is blasted by a shotgun. It is one of the most famous hits in mob history. But Russell Mauro, the man who actually killed Galante, is rarely discussed. Let's check him out. Welcome to OC Shorts, bringing you detailed historical snapshots of the American Mafia and other organised crime. Feel free to subscribe if you like that sort of thing. Today we're going to take a quick look at Bonanno family mobster Russell Mauro, the forgotten man who killed Carmine Galante. As most of you are aware, after he came out of prison in 1974, Carmine Galante muscled his way to become unofficial boss of the Bonanno family, especially since the official boss, Rusty Rastelli, had been locked up in 1975. Galante believed that the position of boss should have been his all along, since before he went away in 1962, he was the underboss to Joe Bonanno. And considering that when he went inside, Philip Rusty Rastelli was just a soldier, and the fact that Rusty was now the boss didn't sit well with Carmine. Anyway, because of his fearsome reputation, the guys in the street fall into line, and he starts to put together a massive narcotics trafficking network, travelling all over the United States, including allegedly having a meeting at Disneyland. The problem is that Galante isn't cutting the other families into his narcotics business. Coupled with the fact that he's acting like the boss despite not being confirmed by the commission, it's decided in the end that Galante has to go. Which brings us back to Joe and Mary's Italian-American restaurant in Bushwick, Brooklyn on July the 12th, 1979. Galante is dropped off by his nephew James Galante for a spot of late lunch. He is joined by his cousin Joe Turano, who is the restaurant owner and a made man, as well as captains Angelo Presenzano and Leonard Coppola. Also in attendance are his Sicilian bodyguards Cesare Bonventre and Baldo Amato. In a massive piece of luck, Angelo Little Mo Presenzano has been complaining of stomachache, and Carmine Galante sends him home. An act that would essentially save Presenzano's life. Albeit just for a couple of months, when Angelo Presenzano died of natural causes. Shortly after Presenzano has left, a blue Mercury Montego pulls up outside. This was allegedly driven by Bonanno soldier Santo Giordano. From the car, three men in balaclavas jump out and enter the restaurant. This hit squad consisted of Dominick Big Trinchera, Anthony Bruno Indelicato, and Russell Mauro. Some sources incorrectly state that Dominick Sonny Black Napolitano was in the group of shooters, but it's actually believed that he was in one of the crash cars blocking Knickerbocker Avenue. Anyway, Bruno Indelicato and Russell Mauro make their way through the restaurant towards the patio outside where Galante is dining. Meanwhile, Trinchera remains inside handling crowd control, and when Joe Turano's son tries to yell out a warning for his father and Galante, he receives 2 bullets in the back from Big Trin, but luckily survives. In the back courtyard, Bruno Indelicato and Russell Mauro emerge. Mauro blasts Galante with a shotgun, and Indelicato shoots Turano. At this point, Galante's bodyguard Cesare Bonventre stands up and empties 6 rounds into Leonard Coppola. Mauro shoots Galante again, and then Indelicato blasts Coppola in the head as well. This account matches forensics, who found evidence that 3 guns had been fired outside. The details of the hit are known because Bruno Indelicato, one of the shooters, confided in Bonanno soldier Frank Lino, who would later turn informer. All of this brings us to the question, why is Russell Mauro, the primary shooter of Carmine Galante, rarely spoken about? Why is he such an enigma? So, what do we know about him? He was inducted into the Bonanno family in the late 1970s. He was considered a tough soldier and a good earner, who was very close with Bruno Indelicato's father, Alphonse Sonny Red Indelicato, who was also his captain. After Sonny Red was killed in the 3 Captains hit in 1981, Frank Lino was elevated to acting captain of the Indelicato crew, and Mauro served underneath him. Some sources say that in 1985, 6 years after the Galante hit, Bonanno boss Rusty Rastelli promoted Mauro to the position of captain. Other sources suggest that by the late 1980s, he was reporting into Sal Vitale, brother-in-law of the powerful captain Joe Massino. Information on Russell Mauro then goes quiet until 1991, when he himself is murdered. The exact motive for his death is speculated to this day, but what is known is that the order for Mauro's killing came from the imprisoned Joe Massino, who passed it on to Sal Vitale, who arranged the hit. Further details of Mauro's killing came out in the 2016 trial of Bonanno family underboss Nicholas Nicky Mouse Santora. Bonanno captain turned informer James Tartar Leone admitted luring Mauro to his Queens-based social club on the 29th of May 1991. Nicky Santora's defence lawyer, Michael Alba, quizzed Tartar Leone on the killing. "You walked him in so someone could shoot him and you clean up the blood?" "Yes," Tartar Leone admitted. Also involved in Mauro's killing was Generoso, Jimmy the General Barberi, and John Palazzolo. Mauro's corpse was then stuffed into a body bag, placed in the trunk of a 1985 Lincoln, and left on a street in Queens. At the Santora trial, Russell Mauro's brother was in the courtroom, and he yelled out to Tartar Leone, "Why, you piece of shit?" He was urged to calm down by Justice Mark Dwyer. Mauro's brother continued, "Judge, I waited 20 years to find out why." And this question still remains. Some have speculated that Russell Mauro was killed because he was suspected of being an informer. Mauro was big in narcotics, and when a series of indictments came down related to drug trafficking, Mauro seemed to avoid them, which drew suspicions. But many feel that this was just an excuse used by Massino to authorise Mauro's killing. Russell Mauro had been growing powerful in the Bonanno family. He was a big earner, a feared killer, and had the notoriety of being the man who blasted Carmine Galante to death. In 1991, the incarcerated Bonanno family boss Philip Rusty Rastelli was nearing the end of his life with liver cancer. The man vying to replace him, Joe Massino, was also in prison and wasn't coming out until November 1992, the following year. It is speculated by many that Joe Massino had Russell Mauro taken out, as he perceived him as a threat to his ascension to the top spot in the family. One source said, "They were afraid of Russell. He was dangerous." With regards to how Russell Mauro's killing was received by other members of the family, another source said, "They robbed him, killed him, and the guys were told not to attend his wake. A lot of guys felt they didn't have to go when he did." I hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching.